Hey, what's going on, y'all? We got a great Thursday Wake Up Barstool plan for you today.
Wait a second. Wait. Where's JJ? No. You don't leave anyone behind. Where's Jersey Jerry?
Where is Jerry?
Jerry, where are you? JJ, 1 second, T-Bob. Jerry, JJ was starting.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome in. Thursday, Wake Up Barstool. T-Bob in there, Big T. We got Chief, and we got Stu Feiner here. Jersey Jerry is supposed to be here. He's going to be here. Look, Jerry doesn't sleep. He's an insomniac. So just running a little bit behind him.
Oh, there's a virus running through the bush.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, yeah.
A tummy ache?
The whole Telluride bush is sick.
On Barstool Sports Advisors, he's always late. He's late for his own wedding. He'll be late for his own funeral.
He's not punctual?
No, he's always late. He has an excuse. He comes from an hour and a half away. He's in traffic, Chicago traffic. My 2 children, my wife, my existence. Come on.
Yeah. Get it together,
Pour me a drink. It's Jersey Jerry.
Y'all do live, out there.
Yeah. I live farther than Jerry does. But then again, I'm on the road at 4:45 a.m. It's like 35-minute drive.
No.
It ain't bad, dude.
So
no traffic.
what time do you get up? 4?
4 a.m. 11 to 4.
No.
That's when I sleep.
No.
Shout out T-Bob.
Shout out Stu.
What a commitment. A commitment to excellence.
It's very kind.
Thank you. Well, you're amazing. You're the reason this show exists. You carry the show. You're incredibly articulate. You're smart. You come from such amazing football stock. Your father, your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather. So you bring it, and we love you.
Yes. I've carried the show to these incredible ratings that we have.
LSU champion.
That's right. National champ. Can't take that away.
National champion. Can't
Right,
take it away
Big
from
T?
you.
Right.
Your NFL career was a bust.
I've stopped
Red
Derek
shirt.
Dooley. I've stopped
Disappointment to
Derek
your
Dooley
family,
from
but we're not
becoming
going to talk
a
about
senator.
that.
Well, we don't know that yet.
I guess we don't know that quite yet. What's going on, though, Chief? Welcome in, man. We've
Happy
missed
to
you
be
this
here.
week. We've
Hi,
had some
Chief.
real motley crews, none more. Well, actually, maybe the last couple of days. Stu's on fire day, guys. I'm going to give everybody a heads up. Stu's got a lot of stories.
Lot to say.
He went to the aquarium yesterday. He's going to tell us why he's
Oh, my
responsible
God.
for the important abolishment of sports. He went to lunch. He went to dinner with Carmine Rossi. But we're going to get there, Stu. Hold on. Hold your nut. Big T, how we feeling today? Day 3 in a row of Wake Up.
It hit me this morning.
Yeah.
The first 2 I was fine. The third 5:45 alarm hit me.
Yeah, it's it's the nature of the beast. But you're doing great.
Thank you.
Kicking ass. Also, check out the new macrodosing pod. I went on the RT yesterday, and very fun episode. But we probably had one of the most mind-blowing conversations, one of those fun, interesting conversations I've ever been a part of with this guy Zach Lodge. But that's macrodosing. Go check that out. Chief, what's happening, babe? How we doing, dude?
I'm a little jet lagged.
Yep.
Crisscrossing, but happy to be here, excited to be here. Plenty of energy. Not quite as much as Stu, maybe a little bit more
I don't
than
think
Big T.
anybody ever has as much as Stu.
I know they put your ass in first class.
They did not. I was in row 40.
God, these planes are so big that everybody's flying on to San Fran. Kate's in what, 50J? You're in 40? Good
40,
God.
yeah.
Man. But yeah, for those that don't know, Chief was we flew him out to San Francisco to play flag football.
I was there
and then
for
immediately flew back.
I think I was there for 14 hours.
What a company.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, so since you are the new man on the panel, okay, we've been talking a ton of Super Bowl. And make no mistake, I still have a few more key matchups that I want to get into today because I've got a lot of thoughts about this game and you people are going to hear them. But Chief, from your perspective, what are you thinking about this game? What are you chewing on? What are you most interested in?
I think this is Seattle's game. I think they're better on offense. I think they're much better on defense. They're more tested. But there's something about that Dave Portnoy juju where he's got the 2 suites. He's got 17 people. He's got his deal with the devil. I have a feeling that the Patriots are just going to find a way, and it's going to be another Dave Portnoy victory parade.
I mean, now Dave's made some pretty good points when it comes to Super Bowl that he's right about, right? Mainly in that And if you played this game 10 times, yeah, I think most everybody would agree Seattle wins more often than not. I mean, Stu's been talking about all week long. The Sharps are hammering Seattle. All the big money
and
offshore
public
bets hammering
It's
Seattle.
become a public fest right now.
Oh, I don't like that.
I have never seen so much money one-sided on one team in my life.
Oof. And that's especially interesting because, as Dave pointed out, right? Like, in these games, it's the bounce of the ball, right? These are two very good teams. Like we mentioned yesterday, every game each team's played this season, like every loss they've had, none's been by more than 7 points. Been competitive every game, so everything's going to come down to these little wins or losses in the margins. And it is a bit interesting, Stu. What's your perspective on this? It's been interesting to hear that the public and the Sharps would all be so heavy on Seattle, where this is a one-game sample. And Seattle this year turned the ball over a lot. And I know they escaped those games, but they didn't play teams like the Patriots in those games. And it feels like that's an element of chaos that I would be a bit wary of getting behind from a gambling perspective.
Well, I would say the element that you actually, let's pull the curtain down actually on this game. And if you really break it down soup to nuts, because you've had 2 weeks an entire season sampling of the NFL to look at it. The perspective in reality is that New England is so far over their heels, so far ahead of schedule. And really, their sizzle the entire year is probably the MVP runner-up, Drake May. Their whole story really was Drake May.
Yeah.
He played superlative. He played unbelievable. You cannot bestow enough accolades onto what Drake May did in year 2. He was unbelievable. He threw the deep ball as good as anybody in the NFL, maybe better. He did not turn over the ball. He ran the offense very, very well. Extremely smart, highest level possible for a year 2 quarterback. In addition to it, he dinked and dunked, and when he had to run, he could run.
Great out.
But if you're looking at their playoff run, Drake May was shut down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To my eyes, it was because of the weather. It was not because of anything that he couldn't do. On a dry field, he would have scored 40 points on that Houston defense just throwing bombs because he was
40 on the Houston defense.
Yes, shredded it. I'm saying it now.
Dude,
shredded. You can't prove me wrong because we'll never know because the game is not played. And then again, I think he would have gone into Denver and lit them up too. Those are 2 great defenses. But as it turns out, he was not able to do much in the game against Houston, that they just kept turning the ball over. And then in the Denver game, it was just the weather, again, played a factor. So if you're really looking at this game, and you want to add that the Patriots played actually no winning teams the entire year. It was the easiest, softest schedule in the NFL.
Well,
so New England is not even supposed to be there. Drake May is not supposed to be where he is, and the Patriots are not supposed to be where they is. But Seattle, let's talk about Seattle. They're the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, they have
soup to nuts.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to murder them. So they're supposed to bury them. So if you have intellect to look at the game just on paper where it's never played, Seattle should murder them.
So I guess again,
So I know why the sucker money and the sharp money is on Seattle. It makes sense. It's not like an anomaly. It's not like why.
Yeah, no, on
they got
paper
a better
it makes
defense,
sense.
a better offense, a better quarterback, and they're farther along.
Well, I don't know if people would agree that they have a better quarterback. I feel
Much
like
better
Patriots. You feel like Seattle's a much better quarterback. I feel like
100%. Sam Darnold's much better than Drake May. But Drake May is the MVP runner-up this year. Not supposed to be there. Drake May played better, but he's not better. Drake May has 2 years.
That's crazy
Sam
to say
Darnold-
Drake May played better, but he's not better. Big T. How do we
put
feel
the
about
stats
that?
up? With the full regular season stats
I'm
up?
trying to figure.
His stats show that Drake May had a 10 times better season, but he's not. Sam Darnold
Stats are for losers.
failed. Senior year USC threw like 6 pick sixes. Came into the NFL, number 1 pick, failed. Was, jockeying around, went to Frisco, didn't play it down, learned, and then not this year, but last year.
So
unbelievable. This year he was unbelievable on Seattle. He has the most wins in the NFL. Last 2 years.
Look, I
most
agree.
wins.
I think Sam Darnold has the advantage in the experience department here, which could obviously come into play. Definitely in the overcoming adversity department, but He's just this year. He's had too many turnovers, and he doesn't handle pressure as well, and he doesn't have the legs of Drake May. Like I think it's close. I'm not saying it's a landslide, but I think May's the advantage at quarterback. Team.
I see where Stu's coming from, and I think I'm trying to figure out if I agree with him or not. Come back to me on that.
Okay. Okay, actually,
I see what he's saying. I see what he's saying.
One thing that you did mention,
he's going to have an answer.
I'll have an answer for you by 7:45.
You said that you thought that that Drake May's performance has been weather dependent. I'm gonna shift that into one of the key matchups that I'm gonna be watching on Sunday that I think has actually had the biggest impact this playoffs, and that is the Patriots offensive line, namely Will Campbell, left tackle. I love Will Campbell. Louisiana guy through and through, great country accent, LSU Tiger. He's going to be great.
Is a penalty waiting to happen.
Think about who he's been up against. He's a rookie, and his first 3 playoff games are Khalil Mack into Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson, Nick Bonito, and now you got DeMarcus Lawrence, the 10-year vet. The 5-time Pro Bowler, first team All-Pro.
Pour me a drink. It's his job.
I know it's his job.
It's his job.
But what I'm saying is you're telling me weather. When I'm saying no, you got an offensive line that's giving up pressure. And that should continue this game because nobody pressures the quarterback like the Seahawks do. The producers asked me a couple times, Stu, so I'll lean on your gambling expert. If all the public money, all the sharp money, if everything's on Seattle, why hasn't this line moved at all?
I think you have old school, East Coast, blind trust in the Patriots that even if they don't win this game, even if they're getting blown out, they'll find a way to cover.
Yeah.
And in a Super Bowl, you're giving a organization that's won 6 championships, that knows how to win, that knows how to prepare. They've seen it all, done it all. There's nothing that's going to surprise them as far as preparation, as far as handling your family, as far as where you're going to stay, who's going to get your tickets, where you're going to eat. They know how to handle that to perfection. That says a lot.
Are they getting
Seattle
too much
doesn't.
credit for that? Because
No,
you
can't
that
give
was a lot of that was 20 years ago with a different quarterback and a different coach.
Experience is everything.
Behind the scenes, though, they do have the
Experience is
same
everything.
operations guys,
Okay.
right?
Experience is
Equipment, everything
Yeah.
else. We
So
talked to we talked to Brian Hoyer.
They
about
don't
that.
need to make the line any higher to attract Patriot money. 4.5 is beefy. It's nice. And unless they just keep getting flooded, can that line move to 5? Can it move to 5.5? It's showing that it will, but it hasn't yet.
Where would you put it, Stu?
I made the line 7.5 and over under 40.5.
Okay.
I thought Seattle should be 7.5 point favorite and the over under should be 40.5. So the odds makers are showing me that you don't need to give the Patriots money to balance it more than 4.5, and you don't need to make the over under 40.5 because they're going to bet it over under at 45.5 right now.
Okay.
I'm surprised.
So you mentioned the Patriots this year being Drake May, and I think a lot of that is accurate for the majority of the year. But what Zach Kerr, who's an interim defensive coordinator, wasn't calling plays, DC gets sick, he takes over. What he has done in terms of getting better and better the year has gone on. And in this playoff run specifically, this Patriots defense has taken center stage. And again, if we're going to look at keys to the game, we're again going to focus on the line and especially the interior guys. I mean, Milton Williams and Christian Barmore have been animals in this playoff run. In fact, I found something pretty interesting today in a Ben Solak piece. So there are 2 interior defenders that have a 13% pressure rate when rushing over the guard in the interior, right? 2. The entire. Who is it? It's Barmore and Williams. And they're going against Anthony Bradford, who really has struggled for large portions of the season, another former LSU guy. Now, Gray Zabel, he's been awesome. Rookie, left guard, stepping in. He's been great. He's held up. But if you're talking about how are the Patriots going to cover, how do they keep this close, where does that faith come from? I think because how do you mess up an interior, how do you mess up a pocket passer?
Right in his face.
Interior rush, right? And Darnold doesn't have the legs of me. He's not going to be able to escape. So, guys, again, we talk about all the time, when you're watching the game, when the ball is snapped, don't immediately watch the quarterback. Watch the lines, right? If the Patriots are on offense, watch the battle at left tackle. When the Seahawks are on offense, watch the battle in the interior. That's how you're going to see kind of the direction and flow of this game.
Can I give a public service announcement right
Yeah.
now? Okay. Is this the camera I'm looking at? Okay. So can I explain something to you? Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy, myself, okay? Probably the two most influential gambling humans on this earth. I created the sports gambling industry in 1980. I brought it to the forefront. I was the first to sell picks for $50.
Tease the story, Stu. Tease the story. Don't go into the story yet.
I'm not.
Okay.
$50, $100, $500, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. I was selling games. Dave made his business on this. Gambling. I want to talk about gambling for a second, please. Gambling is for the rich to have fun and lose money. Gambling is never made for you to win. It's not. It's an illusion. It's a sales tactic that sports books, that the public, that bookmakers have pushed upon you. Gambling is for the rich to have fun and lose money. Have fun gambling, but 80% of the people in the world are going to lose like you. So if you had an idea coming into your head that the Super Bowl you were going to bet to score out, to make money, maybe to bet over your head, maybe to bet with money you don't have. Can I, from the bottom of my heart, please say it? Don't do that. It's not what you're supposed to do. Gambling teaches you a lot about life. It gives you perspective. It gives you discipline. Don't hurt yourself. Don't bet over your head. Make it fun. That's from your source, Stu Feiner.
Dude, that's the most
I just
trusted.
want to say that. It's
that's
important.
you couldn't get better
Legally
advice for anybody.
Yeah,
now,
I just want you to say that.
That being said, we got Big Tease, Super Big Tease coming up next that you should only bet a responsible, fun amount on that you're cool with losing. Coming up next here on Wake Up Barstool FS1. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool, guys. Okay, so Roger Goodell, doing his State of the League address, was asked a question about the quality of the refereeing in the NFL. Very hot topic. Here's what Roger had to say.
Well, again, I'm really, I'm so amazed at how good our officials are. I mean, you know, we spend time all week looking at various angles and still debating it a week later. These guys have to make a split-second decision. And the men and women on our field are incredible. And I think that they've proven over and over again they're really wonderful at what they do. On the other hand, it's a difficult sport to officiate. It's fast. It's quick. And we have to be able to use technology, in my view, to try to prevent the obvious errors.
So I don't know about you boys, but I agree with Roger. Is anybody? I mean, are we all going to do this role? I didn't know if somebody was going to come out here, fire and brimstone. The referees suck. They ruin games and whatnot.
No, I think the NFL probably has the most consistently good officiating of the major sports. I think they get most things right, and then they use the replay probably more effectively than the other sports too. So I have no real complaints with the NFL officiating, at least for now, this year.
So I have a couple of ways I want to take this conversation. But first, so we're all in agreement. We all actually think the refs do
Amazing.
a fantastic job.
Only
right?
thing about refs,
On the whole, yeah.
Only thing about refs, more women, the better. Because if you have women more anywhere, it's the better. I love women. Love watching women, looking at women, and a woman officiator. Woo!
That's
No.
We went from like really
I was
progressive.
saying, like, I'm not sure
to-
that was the direction I was
yeah,
going to take it. I don't hate
I
it there,
love
Stu.
women officiating.
Okay.
I don't need to see some guy with guns.
Are you being a little
going
too-
holding? I want to
are
see a
you-
woman go.
Are you being
Personal foul.
me thinks
Can
the
I say something? I
lady
saw the
don't
Roger Goodell
protest
clip.
Too much.
Does-
I don't know, Stu.
Does Roger Goodell look like Brandon Walker and Ben Mintz if they both were not ugly, squished together? Is that Roger Goodell?
I think if they both were not ugly,
Ugly.
he's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Between Ben Mintz and Brandon
Let me
Walker,
see this. Put Goodell up on the
worst
screen.
complexion on two humans
And actually,
ever.
Connor, could you get started on
They
a
got holes on
side-by-side
their
graphic
face.
here with the three of them?
I feel like we
you ever hear
need
of
one of those GIFs
moisturizing?
where you combine them.
Yeah.
We need the GIF like through.
Where's
like,
Jeff D. Lowe? Can we combine
we
faces and
need
put them
an
side
AI
by
to
side?
put
please?
Ben Mintz, Brandon Walker with the right, skin complexion.
Okay, I have a question then.
Yes. Look. Can you see it?
I think
Can you see it?
there's something to that.
Shout out Stu
Okay,
with the
dude.
squish.
Stu, you might be onto something
Why you
here.
bring me on the show?
Okay,
I think out of the box.
How about this?
'Cause I'm out of my mind.
If referees, male and female, if they do such a good job, Why do they get so much crap every week?
It's easy.
Why are we coming in on Monday and we're yelling about was that a catch, was this catch? Why,
because we
referee
see
game?
every single call from every single game slowed down on social media. And yes, there are some bad calls.
Yeah.
But on the whole, like college basketball officials are abysmal. Most of them are terrible at their job.
But isn't that a function of the
NFL.
same thing? Because that's like a harder sport to officiate.
You think that's
football?
harder?
I think it's
I
10
think
times
basketball's
easier.
impossible.
10 times
You are
easier.
out of your mind.
Oh, basketball's
What,
way
10 times
There are
easier?
half the number of
Easiest
people.
sport to officiate. What do you
Stand
mean?
out.
Way easier.
You're
And
right next to the players. The field is squished together.
I feel so much of these conversations have to do with gray area, and I feel like the inherent gray area in basketball, what's a foul, what's charged, what's like I feel
What's
like
a hold?
No, I think it's much more ambiguous in football.
I agree.
Okay.
Which is
But
a
I was
yeah.
But I was saying that to say college basketball officials on the whole are terrible. On the whole, NFL officials are pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, fantastic.
I agree. It's an impossible sport to officiate. It's so so fast,
So how do you-
violent. Well, they're instant replay. You have the replay.
Yeah, for sure.
You can fall back on the replay. I think officials in the NFL, men or women, shout out women, get it right 90% of the time. The 10% they get it wrong, go to replay, and it's solved.
Do you? So I mean, how are y'all some of the hardos that hate weathermen as well? Because I feel like weather people get crap all the time for not being right and being wrong, but I feel like that's just the nature of the beast as well.
I feel like weathermen don't even exist anymore. I just look at my phone.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Tom Skilling used to be a legend in this town. He retired. I don't even know who the other people are. I just pull it up on my phone.
Same thing applies. A woman, weather woman, or a weatherman, I'm taking the woman 10 times out of
Stu,
10.
interesting.
I love weather woman. So hot, so smoking gorgeous. It's my name.
I think you're being.
A weather person is not paid to be right. They're paid to predict what their stats show.
Exactly.
You've never seen a weatherman in their life, or woman, shout out woman, say, well, it looks like snow, but forget that. I have a feeling it's not going to snow. You never see that. They go with systems, trends, stats that they went to school
Like
for,
gamblers.
and that is their prediction. They're performers. They're not supposed to be right.
Well, I would like
Farmer's
to,
Almanac is right.
on behalf of Wake Up Barstool, I'd like to say Happy National Weather Person today to all the weathermen and women out there. Apparently, it's actually
They get a day.
we somehow stumbled. That's my fault, but
Weather
probably one of the most
women.
boring conversations
Weather humans.
possible on National Weather Person Day. Shout out to the weather.
I
humans
don't
out
believe
there.
you.
No, production. Find me proof so I can convince
It
the
said
doubter.
100% true from the smart people.
What does the Tease stand for? Thomas?
No.
It's
But,
a-
yeah.
You got it? Did you get it, Catholic? You got it? Huh? Guys, that was a pretty good Bible.
Pretty
joke.
good.
Come on now, dude. All right. It's time now, as we get into predictions and using the models to see what's right. It's time for Big Tease, Super Big Tease. Thomas, take it away.
Here's the thing about the big tease. We've been on a cold streak, but this is the first super big tease.
I mean, yeah.
Therefore-
So this exists independently.
Wave the rating, wave the past.
Wipe the
Only
slate
matters now.
clean. We are 0-0. So for the first ever super big tease, Seahawks money line. We've talked a lot about the spread today. Don't worry about the spread. Just take them to win the game. Under 55.5. You buy yourself a touchdown or so there. Jackson Smith and Jigba, most receiving yards in the game.
Yeah.
His
yeah.
line's at 100. I don't know if he gets to 100 because the Patriots are going to be keying on him, but he's going to get 75 yards.
Yeah, another matchup to highlight, dude. Christian Gonzalez versus JSN. I mean, that is great on great. Those are top 5 guys in the entire league. And Jacob's going to move around a lot. I want to see if Gonzalez is going to follow him, but definitely players to watch when they're on the field.
So JSN, most receiving yards in the game, but then once they get down in the red zone, they're really going to be harping on him, and that's when Cooper Kupp scores a touchdown like he did last week, and that is your super big tease plus 950. We went for it this week.
The Super Big Tease SS
I love it, Big
edition.
T. I love it.
Super Seattle.
Thank you.
Can I say that I'm one of the biggest gamblers in the world, one of the biggest sports handicapping gambling content providers in the world? That's phenomenal right there.
Thank you, Stu.
Really?
I mean,
You're into
no. I mean, gut level, I almost cannot disagree with one pick.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I said.
Disagree. That is high quality information brought upon by years and decades of consistent football love.
I mean,
Very impressive, Big T.
Thank you.
You didn't just mail it in and come to the show.
No.
Showing that you're a gorgeous human that's going to get married June 12th. That me and Sandy are coming to his wedding. We're coming to Big T's
adamant.
wedding.
So much fun,
Well done.
Stu's
I
going
just
to show
wanna
up
say,
at the White Sox.
well done. It's an honor to be on a panel with you.
Yeah, you as well. Shake my hand.
I'll say this.
Thank you.
We talk about Super
Thank
Bowl
you.
experience a lot. We talk about a lot from the Patriots standpoint. You have Milton Williams, obviously, and he was fantastic last year. But then Cooper Kupp for Seattle. I mean, that's a Super Bowl MVP. It's a guy who's been on the stage before. And one of the great advantages that Kupp has afforded the Seahawks all year long is he's kind of brought in Jigba along. Jackson Smith, he's talked about this a lot, how Kupp has like taught him to be a pro. It's a really good resource for that entire team to be able to lean on as they go into this game on Sunday. Oh, something I meant to mention off the top that we should be watching. Nick Imawari yesterday left practice with an ankle injury. Video of him limping into the hotel. That could be potentially devastating. He got imaging done. I'm hoping some news is going to break during the show this morning. But keep an eye on that because when you're talking about Imawari, he's the element that makes everything in McDonald's schemes work because he's that safety hybrid where they can play nickel, but it's basically like they still have another linebacker in there. They can play dime and they can still stop the run. That could be hugely impactful. I think he'll play. But how healthy he is, that could be a massive element to this game. All right, coming up next, guys. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Stu.
Listen.
Stu.
I'm not just some clown. I have amazing skill in so many areas. Look.
And he
not
loves
see it
women,
either?
guys.
I
Loves
do
women.
see it.
I don't
Do
see
you
it.
see it?
I do see
I
it.
do see it.
I'm not coming to the wedding. What do you mean you don't see it?
If he wasn't
If you don't see it, I ain't coming to the wedding. What do you mean? They look like brothers.
I actually just need the Brandon Walker-Ben Mintz combination to send to Brandon.
How good?
I-
how good
I
do
also
they look?
think-
I
Look
love
at that cheeky little
that
smile.
I think
Shout
this
out Brandon Ben.
This will enrage Brandon.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
What do you mean? They're
This
best
will-
friends.
this
They
will
hugged it out on the foot.
enrage
You were
him.
there. They hugged
Yeah.
it out. It was like Russia and Ukraine. It was Palestinians and Israel. They hugged it out.
And can I get
Hugged it out.
Can I get some proof that it is indeed National Weather Person Day here, guys? Look at that.
Bang.
Look at that. Celebrating National Weather Person Day.
I'm
National
supposed to. I
Podcaster
can't see
Day?
that.
Sure, when is
Can we, Jarvis, blow that up?
Jarvis.
February 5th. Okay. I mean, sure.
Shout out to the weather people out there.
Why does everybody need a day?
Agreed. Oh, it's
Recognition-
National Cupcake Day. Go buy cupcake. It's to sell you slop, Chief.
Are you buying? Can I buy a weather person?
Probably. I don't know.
I mean, there's probably a prediction market where I can buy weather person.
Yeah, it's all a sham.
All right, coming up next, guys. Well, might even talk a little Winter Olympics, but Stu's got a story. We're going to lay out. We're going to let Stu tell you why he is responsible for the entire internet, essentially, why he is responsible for everything that you love. And it's coming up next on Wake Up Barstool. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool and FS1. It's time for some hockey talk as the Winter Olympics are underway. Chief, you're our resident puckhead here. Shut up, Carson. And kind of lay it out for us. Lay out the stakes, what we should be interested in, what we should be watching, how we feeling about Team USA as we all, even if you don't care about hockey, these are always fun. These international events like the World Cup. It's fun to cosplay.
Yeah,
It's
let's
a
all
massive-
get involved.
yeah,
we
like
can be
cosplay
happy
is
to
a
be
massive
Americans.
thing.
We'll
Hell yeah.
unite us. I don't know if any watched the USA 1980 Netflix doc.
Oh, I heard it's great,
It was
dude. I got to
really
get
good.
on it.
It felt great to watch it, and this is the first time since 2014 that we have actual best on best in the Olympics. The NHL's back involved. It's great to see. You look at Team Canada, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, all those guys are going to be on the same power play. It's incredible. And then we were watching the women's game, Germany, Sweden out there. First look at the ice. There's been a lot of talk about how the ice sheet is small. It looks small. It looks so tight. The corners are shallow. It looks like it's a kid's rink.
Tell me about that. They can just do that? They
They
just
messed
make
it up.
Too small.
They messed it up. Now this used
Wait,
to
they
be
just built it the wrong size?
yes, they built it.
And there's so much space
doesn't-
for it to be
doesn't
normal
make-
size.
I don't know how you messed this up, but this has been a problem that feels like it could have been saved and adjusted the whole time. I am convincing myself this is an advantage for the United States.
Why is that?
I think it's going to slow the game down.
Canada's faster?
90% of the game is played along the wall anyways. We got the biggest, meanest guys in the tournament, the Chuck brothers. We got a lot of we got big boys on defense. Wierenski. I think this is going to be an advantage for the United States. I think it'll slow the game down. We can make it a gutter war. So I like our team. If there's a scenario where the gold medal game is not USA and Canada, I can't imagine it.
I mean, look at that. So those are the top odds right there. You see it on the bottom of the screen. I
Yep.
mean, USA and Canada, the prohibitive favorites.
Oh, and a
there.
huge gap before
With Sweden and Finland
Yeah.
coming
No,
by
you don't
after
think
next.
Philip Forsberg and the boys?
I don't think Philip Forsberg,
One of the
unless
best
he's
players in
turning
the world.
into, unless he's morphing into Peter Forsberg somehow, it's not gonna.
He's way
not
better
gonna-
than that guy.
No, he's not.
Way better than Peter Forsberg?
Peter Forsberg.
Is there any other
my
country?
all-time
all-time
favorite
greats.
My all-time favorite player. Peter.
Oh my God, really? Is there any other
to love those
country
abs.
like when Lundqvist stood on his head and
Yeah.
won the gold medal for what was it, Czechoslovakia?
Sweden.
For Sweden, right? When he stood on his head.
You're thinking of Nagano '98, Dominic Hasek.
Oh, Hasek too. When he,
Yeah.
oh, that
Yeah.
he won it for Czechoslovakia.
Yes.
So, is there a goalie that could rob the tournament? Is there another goalie's country that goalie stand on his head and surprise the world and beat Canada, beat USA? What goalie? Not those four.
The other team down,
Not those
fourth
four.
one down there.
I don't think so. He's
Okay.
trying to tell me about Saros because he's the Preds goalie
goat.
who's with Finland. I don't think there is a goalie like that. Ironically, probably the three best goalies in the world, they're all on Team Russia, so we don't have to worry about them.
Yeah. We're still doing that.
Oh my
I guess,
gosh!
yeah.
Wow, what a big edge!
Yeah,
So Russia could have stole it.
Russia
but they're not
definitely
playing
could, but they're not in it.
because
And-
they're bad people.
allegedly, supposedly.
No, there's not allegedly. They went in and they're trying to take over the world.
That's
Stop.
that's a
There's
different
no
channel, different
allegedly
show.
about that.
That's why we need
I-
Greenland.
Shout out Putin.
That's why we need Greenland.
I love hating people though. I would love.
Shout out Putin.
Did you?
So
hear
that's
this guy?
what you. So that's the truth. Russia could have stood on their head.
Oh, for sure.
With the goalies
Yes.
and stolen the Olympics.
And they would have had a nasty team too.
We should
Because
mention
that's one
Russian
thing about
doping.
the Olympics. If your goalie is lights out, you can win every game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
You
short
can win
tournament.
every game,
Yeah.
every day against anybody.
T-Bob Saros.
Oh, I thought you said you were a Soros fan. I was shocked.
UC Saros.
Okay.
Another bad guy.
This guy doesn't watch puck.
Put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
This guy
Yeah.
doesn't watch puck.
All right, guys. So when can we watch? When are the games getting
Starting
underway?
up February 11th, the women's tournament's
Okay.
going on right now. So yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be some of the best hockey you've ever seen, the most talent ever on the ice all at the same time when USA plays Canada. It's going to be awesome.
Now, Stu.
Oh, wait, just quickly. Will you watch opening ceremonies tomorrow night? Yes or no?
So if I'm being honest, it's probably
yes or no? We have time. The show's live. It's running
it's
clock.
something that I'm going to come to probably online. I don't know if I'm going to watch live or not.
Okay.
No.
No.
I've never not missed opening ceremony.
I think they're pretty
Never
fantastic.
I think it's
Not. So you've never watched it.
no. I've never missed it.
Yeah,
Right,
you said
you
never
said
not
never
miss.
not
Use the
miss.
double negative.
Oh, okay. I'm so well. 550 math, 390 English, whatever I say. Don't listen to. I love opening ceremony.
Impressive you remember that.
I love the pomp and circumstance. I love people walking in parades. It just tears me up. The presentation and the show is A++.
It's going to be.
I love it.
They're going to be hard.
Can't get
pressed-
enough of it.
They're going to be hard pressed to beat the French one, the summer one, the Gojira heavy metal, death metal Marie Antoinette opening that we got a couple of years
I
ago.
think they'd be hard pressed to do worse. Be honest with you.
Well, I know it was controversial, but it was pretty badass with all
Was
the
it?
beheaded singing heads, dude. Yeah, it was.
That was
sick.
wild.
Yeah, it was bad. It was crazy.
Amazing. They put
all right.
billions of dollars into it.
Now,
Yes.
Stu, you're one
Yes.
of the great storytellers that we have.
Yes.
You're also the man responsible, or at least you're going to explain how, for Dave Portnoy, Pat McAfee, Caleb Presley, Caller Daddy. All of this goes back to Stu Feiner.
There's no two ways about it, because let me just quickly tell a long story, okay, because we got time. It's live. Nothing's going on today. Okay.
It's actually literally
Super Bowl Sunday, obviously the biggest NFL day of the year. It's my biggest day where I earn my most money, anywhere between $20,000 to $100,000 on one day's worth of work. Yeah, that's me. That's why I'm great. I'm wearing the Boston Sauce shirt. Now, StuFinder.com, you get all my picks. 12 football picks, $169, StuFinder.com. Yesterday, Big T, 6-1, 6-1, 6-1.
Wow.
Alabama cost me a 7-0 day. Best bets, Alabama, Minnesota, Houston, 2-1. StuFinder.com, all your info. So here's the bottom line. Dave Portnoy gets out of college, graduates Michigan. His father's a lawyer. His mother loves, obviously, her son. Guy's lost, has no vision, has no hope, has no direction. Might be a socialized teacher, might be a salesman selling, who knows, unsold airtime for radio station,
Hell yeah.
odor granules, maintenance chemicals, office supplies, clothes, food. He's lost, but he remembers from the early 90s himself, his father, and his uncle, his father's brother, used to watch me, in 89, in 90, in 91, in 92, 93, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Sports Advisors Show, where I screamed, I yelled, I was very performative. I
Made an entire movie about you, Stu.
I was spending $100,000 a week on my production. I was in every sports channel in the world, okay? Dave watched me. And he said he wants to be me or emulate me when he grows up. So in 2003, when he opened his business, Barstool Sports, he stood on train stations giving out a one-page pamphlet of his fantasy football picks. But who was he trying to be? Stu Feiner! I gave him his vision. I gave him his direction. 2004, calls me up on the phone. Year 2 in business, under an assumed name. He's playing some fake guy talking to me. Made up this act. I don't even know what name it was.
Is this when you were down? Is this when the Empire's crumbled at this point, or is this before the Empire crumbled?
No, I'm on the balls of my ass.
Okay.
I'm in trouble.
Okay, you're in
I'm
trouble.
so trouble.
So when he calls you under the assumed
He
name,
has no
you're
idea I'm in trouble.
Okay.
Though. Nobody ever knew I was in trouble.
Okay.
I was still spending hundreds of thousands a year on performative nature, on being a big shot, so no one would know I was in trouble. No one ever knew. I kept borrowing money. Just I had to play the game. So Dave calls me up, and we do this full interview about everything, soup to nuts. Al Pacino playing me in the movie Two for the Money. Al Pacino, Matthew McConaughey, Jeremy Piven.
Good movie.
On my TV show, The Sports Advisors, who's going to win the Super Bowl. And it was funny. And I didn't even know it was Dave Portnoy posing as like Joe
at it.
Blow.
There it is right
That's
there,
the article, 2004. Until 13 years later, like we did Barstool Sports Advisors, he randomly called me up on the phone. I didn't even know who Dave Portnoy was. I never heard of Barstool. My children loved Barstool, loved Big Cat, loved Dave, loved PFT, loved KFC. All of a sudden, Dave Portnoy calls me on the phone and goes, Stu, me, my uncle, my father used to watch you on TV. We loved you. It's one of the reasons I had the vision for what I wanted to do in life after I graduated Michigan, to become a sports advisor, to become performative, to do content and funniness and energy like you. I want to bring back Barstool. I want to bring back Sports Advisors, rename it Barstool Sports Advisors, and that's how I'm with the company.
Let's
but in other words, so
dude.
Pat McAfee, Caleb Presley, Cooler Daddy. Without Barstool, you ain't where you are, as quick as you are, as easy as you are. How about Scott Van Pelt? How about Stanford Steve? Steve, I was on their podcast. Scott Van Pelt says to me, Stu, I hope you don't mind, but we stole bad beats from you. You used to do it, and me and Steve just stole it from you. I hope you don't mind. I go, Scott, I love you. I love you. I love you. No problem.
Wait, but Stu, I think you're due some sort of kickbacks here, no?
I don't need money.
Oh, okay.
I don't want money.
He's not motivated by money.
I'm not motivated by money.
Look at that.
I'm motivated by fame. That's all I'm in this for. Ego-driven fame.
Put that on a plaque.
I'm not motivated by money.
Anybody can make money. Not everybody can be famous.
That's right, Stu.
Wow.
Hey, look, guys. So
Everyone that works for Barstool Sports, you owe it me.
Thank you, Stu.
Me.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Stu. You've changed me in
You're
my family's
welcome.
life.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
You're welcome.
And if you love Barstool Sports out there, please tweet Stu a thank you as well.
Exactly.
While you're there, hashtag AskWub. You can ask us anything. We'll answer at the end of the show. We still got plenty more to get to. We got Matt Hasselbeck coming up, kicking off hour 2. We got Rachel Nichols talking NBA trade deadline. So don't go anywhere. More Wake Up Barstool on the way. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. A couple things to close out the hour with. First, I want to get into some big potential Maxx Crosby news, but before we go there, last night in college hoops, Michigan State's Jeremiah Fears, roll the tape, guys, because he had quite the interesting technique here on offense. Defenders hugging him, trying to get off. Bang!
Oh, my God. What's in the groin?
Just a little backwards nut shot, dude. That's
a Draymond Green move.
He just lost his balance. That guy shouldn't have been standing there.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
That was a complete accident.
Accidental.
No, I mean, I can't. I'm surprised he didn't get hit with a straight right hand.
That is.
The guy barely reacted.
That is, well, he obviously didn't connect right. It looks like he hit more cheek than nuts, but that is a wrestling level of obvious.
Hey.
Like that should have a ding sound effect behind it. Ding! Right there when he hits
cheap.
it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't get cracked.
Fears he's kind of quickly gaining a reputation here. Because I think he tripped the guy in the game. He's got a little bit of Draymond, a little bit of Grayson Allen in him. It's too much, Fears.
I don't mind it. Give him the what for here.
Did you ever, well, actually, let's get to the Maxx Crosby news, because Jay Glazer went on Yahoo Sports yesterday with my girl Caroline Fenton, and he was asked if he believes that Maxx Crosby's time with the Raiders is done. Glazer said he thinks that it is. And so immediately, every team that thinks they're on the edge starts salivating about potentially adding him to his line. It'd be a massive impact. Chief, as our resident Bears guy here.
Bring him here immediately. That is the missing piece. We need Maxx Crosby.
Yeah, if there's one thing about that Bears defense, it forced a lot of turnovers, not a lot of pressure.
Almost zero.
And Crosby, too, like, we talk about DeMarcus Lawrence going into the Super Bowl. Good pass rusher, but a great run defender as well. The only guy that was better defending the run from the edge this year, Maxx Crosby. So it's not just getting after the quarterback. So the question then becomes, if he is that missing piece to push you into consistent Super Bowl relevance, how much you giving up for him?
I would give up this year's first, which is the 25th pick. I think
next year's second?
Next year's second. I think I would throw Rome Odunze in there too.
Oh, wow.
You're not getting him for that.
What else do you need?
Maxx Crosby is a signature piece for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tom Brady, and now Kubiak's going to be their new head coach?
Yep.
Okay.
And they'll have Fernando Mendoza.
And they're getting Mendoza as your first-round draft pick, okay? Mm-hmm. He's number one. Okay. So what do the Raiders need? They got Genty, and they made him look like he could not run the football. He would get the ball, and there would be somebody on him in 2 seconds. So if you're going to give up Crosby, and you're Brady, and you're Kubiak, what do you need for him? You need offensive linemen. You need big, beefy offensive linemen. So he will go where you could get an immediate guard or tackle immediately off their team, plus a lot of draft picks. You're never letting him go. He is the cat's meow.
That's kind of interesting from the Bears' perspective, though, because they put so much into protecting Caleb. Like, I don't think they would
you
put,
trade
like,
Darnell
No,
Wright
as I'm saying,
picks?
You're never getting them. Bears are never getting. They don't have the pieces. They don't have the assets.
So nothing to be said for adding a young wide receiver to Mendoza and beating him up with Bowers and Genty.
What does it mean when he's looking up at the sky? What does it mean?
Well, they have
they
have Darnell Wright if that's what you want. I don't know that I'd give him up, but.
And then it's like the Bears just created another problem.
Well, but if you're saying you want to,
it's the old Dutch boy cartoon.
He's going to go to a team that's going to give a boatload of draft picks, much more than anyone thinks. He might be worth 2 firsters. He could. He might be worth 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and an offensive lineman plays immediately. You could put him right in.
Refresh me. What did Parsons end up going for? 2 first-rounders?
I'd have to look that up, but I think that's right.
It was 2 first-rounders and Kenny Clark. So to Stu's point, 2 first-rounders.
Even though Maxx Crosby's older than Parsons,
player the Raiders desire might be the play.
They're equal. He could be the last piece on a great team to win the Super Bowl. He will get between 10 and 20 sacks. He might get 20 sacks. On the Raiders, all you had to do is take him out of the game.
Yeah.
Put a tight end on him, double him down. You almost have 3 people on him, run the other way or run straight at him. And he over pursues because he has to, because he has no help. I've never seen an amazing player as great as him with no help.
2 first, Roman.
And they need so much.
Go ahead. Coming up next, guys, we got Matt Hasselbeck. He's going to break down the Super Bowls, give us a tale of the tape. Don't go anywhere. More Wake Up Barstool in hour number 2. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. What a pleasure this is every day. The best part about this job is we get to do interviews that I never thought I would ever get to do in my career. And this is another one of them. It's one of the all-time great Seahawks. One of the all-time greats. It's Matt Hasselbeck. Matt, what's up, man? Thank you so much for joining. I know you're on the West Coast.
We love you, Matt.
It's like 5 a.m. Thank you for waking up with us. How we feeling, baby? Super Bowl almost here.
Huge week. Yeah, I'm here in San Francisco. A lot of activities downtown San Francisco. The teams are closer down to San Jose. The game's obviously in Santa Clara. It's about an hour in between the two cities, but a lot of events. There's like the Super Bowl, and then there's like the week of events before the Super Bowl. It's like two different things. If you're in the game, you're all about the game. If you're not in the game, you're probably upset you're not in the game, and you're all about the events during the week. So I'm fired up. You know, this is my old team against my dad's old team, the Patriots. So our family kind of feels like it's win-win, but I'm rooting for the Seahawks pretty hardcore. I think should be a great game.
Yeah, I mean,
well, you got the shirt on.
Well, he's in the Seahawks Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Well, I slept in the shirt. This is my hoodie that I sleep in. You know, when you're packing is an art, guys. If that's why I wear these Cole Haan shoes quite a bit, because they're so light. They go on your luggage. You know, you're trying to keep your luggage light. So you got to pack one hoodie. I think you got to have one.
That's interesting. I'm a naked sleeper, Stu. What about you?
I have a perfect dive shirt of mine that's worn. Okay. And I wear briefs.
Okay.
No socks.
Okay, right on. Matt, what about this? Real quick before we get into maybe like the elements of the game, a bit of a newsy question here. Nick Imawari leaves practice yesterday, ankle injury, imaging done. We're waiting for an update. Everything that I understand about the Seahawks defense is that his ability to be that safety linebacker hybrid is the real key to everything McDonald wants to do in terms of like being able to play nickel and dime and still stop the run. So this is big. Do you have any inside news on what the latest in Imawari is?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's absolutely huge. You know, when you practice, the whole thing is you want to practice as fast as you can and protect the team, like kind of protect each other. Can't have an injury during the week, but it does happen. So, you know, I'm a little bit concerned, but the fact that we've got 3 days to go, it's an ankle injury. He walked off under his own power. I would expect that he would make it back to play in this game. With that being said, you're absolutely right. This is their Cam Chancellor. He doesn't look like a DB. He doesn't play. He can play like a linebacker. He can also cover guys. Mike McDonald has also said throughout the year, he's like, man, I'm just making it up as I go along. I've never really had a player like Nick Imawari. He probably most similar to maybe like a Kyle Hamilton when Mike McDonald was coaching for the Baltimore Ravens. So no, I think this would be a huge blow for the Seahawks if he couldn't go.
So one of the things I want to do here, Matt, I want to kind of do a tale of the tape where we're going to lay out different elements, and I want you to kind of break it down and give us the advantage. And let's start with your position, the most important element on the football field at any given time, the queen of the chessboard, that is the quarterback. And you got two very good quarterbacks in this Super Bowl with very different timelines and stories in terms of how they arrived here. Drake May, Sam Darnold, advantage who?
Wow, man. I mean, you know, some of it you got to go with Sam Darnold. I mean, he's had 2 years in a row of just really incredible regular seasons, and he's been there. He's got the scabs, he's got the wounds, he's been through it all. I think you know, the fact that he's 28 years old and he's gone through all that he's gone through and all the different teams and been around all the different coaches, I think you got to say experience. However, I would say there's something to not knowing what you don't know. And Drake May, I mean, I'm a huge Drake May fan. I think his upside is ridiculously high, and he's out there, and I mean, he's kind of like, yeah, I'm just out here cutting it loose, you know, like having fun. Can you believe it? I'm in the Super Bowl. Yeah, this is cool, man. And you know, so there's something to that. That's not nothing. I remember Tom Brady's first Super Bowl in 2001. I'm not sure he really understood the magnitude of playing in that first Super Bowl like he did at the end of of his Super Bowl run. So, you know, I think both quarterbacks have the ability to potentially be the MVP of this game if they can get their team the win.
Matt, coming up next, let's talk about when the Pats are on offense, okay? When Drake May and the company's out there, they're going against the best defense in the NFL. It's been an insane playoff run in terms of the defenses that they've faced. What are the keys if the Patriots are going to be able to move the ball here? What do they have to accomplish that so many have failed to against that dark side defense this year?
Well, like I said earlier, I do think this is a great matchup. I've seen a lot of people talk about the Patriots schedule and how, like, this could be a blowout. I just don't see that at all. Patriots, Josh McDaniels, Mike Vrabel, they know what they're doing. This is a talented team. They're not as deep as the Seahawks. They certainly aren't as deep, but they're very talented. Josh McDaniels is really good at a few things. The draw game, that offsets and neutralizes a pass rush. The screen game, which also does that. And then they spread the ball around. This isn't like a has to go to Stephon Diggs kind of an offense. It's wide receiver by committee. They have talent. They don't have big name Pro Bowl types, but they've got very, very good players. They've got the tight end. Like, they've got it all offensively. I think the biggest thing, the X factor for me, is Drake May as a runner, scrambling. If there was a kryptonite for the Seahawks defense this year, it was with that great pass rush. At times, guys can get loose and scramble. So if Drake May has, I don't know, say maybe 40 yards of rushing in this, doesn't force it, but whether it's design runs or scrambled 40 yards, I think that'd be a big factor for the Patriots offense. And one last thing, trick plays. Don't forget, like, when you're going up against a team that you feel like the defense is better than you, reach into your bag of tricks. And Josh McDaniels has proven he's got the courage and the creativity to call trick plays.
Matt, we talked earlier a little bit about how, while this Patriots team hasn't been to the Super Bowl, the guys, organizationally, they know exactly what to do during the week with hotel and tickets and all that. But Chief and I are skeptical of, I think they're getting too much credit for that in terms of how that plays into the game. How big of a deal is that when you have a group of guys who maybe doesn't know what to expect, and then an organization that has everything down pat, like, we got it all covered?
Yeah, I actually think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal. And I'll tell you how it shows up. I mean, I've never really been to Europe, but I imagine, like, if I were to go to Europe and I was going to go with a bunch of buddies that had never been to Europe, it's going to be way different than if I go with a bunch of people that have been to Europe a bunch of times. Like, they're just going to, we're going to feel like we're on the moving walkway, like the wind's at our back a little bit. And that's what it is. It's all logistics, So when the head coach, Mike Vrabel, like, for me, Mike Holmgren was my head coach when we played in the Super Bowl. He had taken the Green Bay Packers to a couple Super Bowls. He had been with the 49ers with Joe Montana and Steve Young to the Super Bowl. And so when he got up and talked about it, he was like, all right, guys, here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we're going to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Let me tell you about pregame, a lot of pomp and circumstance, a lot of pageantry. We're going to slow this down. We don't want you to overdo it and then cool down. Halftime is going to be long. And then in my halftime, the Rolling Stones played at halftime and they went even longer. And so just like that idea of the confidence that we got from our coach and yes, logistics and kind of counting our reps and sort of, we don't want to peak too early and that kind of thing. I think the fact that Mike Vrabel's been there, I think the fact that the Patriots have been there, the Seahawks have been there, that's gonna be nice for the players. Even if you haven't played in the game yourself, you're gonna be so focused on just doing your job in football that those kind of those other things that you might have to worry about, they're really not a thing.
Matt, let me just say something. First of all, it's an honor and pleasure to see you. We spoke off camera and just made you laugh a little bit because I was at the Super Bowl. I was wearing my Sean Alexander jersey. I watched you perform against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You kicked their butt. You won that game. That should be a game in history that they go back and give you the championship and take it away from the Steelers. Is it frustrating that on two plays that dictated the entire game, that Hines Ward caught pass interference calls when he was never touched, where if you were playing right now, both have been overturned and you would have won the Super Bowl? Do you think about that, or it just has to be, Stu, different time, different era, it is what it is?
Stu, thanks for bringing this up. This is a great memory for me.
I want to know, because you outplayed them. You outperformed. You were better than Big Ben. Your team was better. You played superlative. And those two phantom calls that don't exist, didn't get touched. Where'd the flag come? How do you live with that? That's really...
How was the play? How was the play, Miss Lincoln?
Sir, I wake up at night thinking, there was no pass interference twice on Hines Ward. Twice. They were like 70-yard differentials. Big Ben threw the ball 70 yards. Flag went up for no reason. It's phantom.
Stu, you're waking up everyone in my hotel room right now out here on the West Coast, okay? Listen, in all seriousness, I appreciate it. But, we were the best team in football that year during the regular season. and maybe through part of the playoffs. But that day, the Steelers actually played better than us. I mean, I mentioned the trick play. Trick plays matter. We didn't play our best that day. And I think the lesson, and I think it applies to this game, the Seahawks had a better regular season than the Patriots.
Yeah.
A little bit. And the Steelers in that game you're talking about, they were a wild card team. And they beat us on Super Bowl Sunday. That's all you got to do. Both teams are essentially 0-0. And whoever wins on Super Bowl Sunday, that's it. That's it. So sure, like, do I feel good about if like we had another chance? Like, sure, I do. But like that was it. It's like kind of like making a putt. You get one chance to make the putt.
But do you agree with me that they were phantom calls? No. Listen, Matt.
Hold on, Stu, let him.
I would just say that, referees are human too. And like, just like me as a quarterback, sometimes I have great days, sometimes I have bad days. Okay. You can't, I've never been one to like really blame officials or, do that kind of thing. I don't think it's the right thing to do as an athlete. I really don't think, I know when I parent, my kids aren't allowed to complain about referees. So I think that's where my mind would be. And it would just be a caution to any team that is maybe the favorite in a game. You better play your best that day, or you're going to go home feeling very, very disappointed because, it's any given Sunday. And like I said earlier, the Steelers made a couple of huge plays that we did not make, and that's why they got to host the Lombardi.
See, attitude, that's how you play 17 years.
Can I ask him a technical question now? We know Drake May is hurt. We know he's not 100%. He's going to play. We know that. The Seahawks defense is violent. They remind me of the old Oakland Raiders in the 70s, John Madden's team, Tom Flores' team, where they hit you to hurt you legally. Every hit's legal, no dirtiness, but they're violent. Will they try to literally knock Drake out of the game? They know the injury, they know the shoulder. As a quarterback, is the defense focused on knocking the quarterback out of the game or hurting him early? Like you said, Drake doesn't know what's going on. Second year in the league. He was the runner-up MVP. They're probably going to not give it to him, but he played good enough. Is it possible that they're going to try and knock him out of the game?
Well, I think a lot of defenses talk that way, act that way, behave that way. I don't see that out of Mike Macdonald. I think he's all about the mission. They've got this mob mentality. They came up with it. It's mission over BS. Like we're not about any of the BS. We're not about taunting penalties. We're not about like trying to hurt a guy. We're trying to get that football. We're trying to score on defense. We're trying to give our offense a short field. And that's what they're all about. They're all about that mission. So yeah, they're the best defense in football. They get an incredible pass rush. But like when they come for a sack, it's like they're thinking strip sack. I don't think they're thinking, let's get his torn labrum rotator cuff on the ground. I don't think they're thinking that way. I think they're trying to get that football. I think that's what they're all about. They're ball hawks in the back end. They're very good at getting the ball out, punching the ball out. And fumbling has been an issue for the New England Patriots. Mm-hmm. It really has for 2 years now, really. But if I were to give a kryptonite or a critique of the offense of the Patriots, something that I would be worried about if I was a Patriots fan, it's fumbling. Like absolutely, fumbling has been an issue. And so if I'm Mike Macdonald, I don't think I'm coaching up. Let's see if we can like work on his injury. I think he's talking about in a very, very detailed way. Here's how we can get that ball out and give it back to our offense.
And like you talked about, Mac, I mean, the Seahawks defense has been incredible all year long. The Patriots defense is pretty fascinating, though. Really kind of underrated, under-talked about coming into this playoff run. They've been fantastic. And when you look at that interior pass rush that they have, it's two of the best in the entire league. If there is a weakness of the Seahawks, maybe it's interior offensive line. So when Seattle has the ball, what do you think are your keys that you're identifying to who's going to come out on top in that battle?
Well, you're absolutely right about the Patriots, but I would just say, and I've watched a lot of the Patriots. I grew up in Boston. My daughter covers the team. When healthy, they're amazing. Milton Williams, Christian Barmore on the inside, when they're going, the Patriots are a great defense. And the Patriots, it's interesting how they built the team. They kind of flushed everybody out. They got rid of all of the captains last year. They got younger, but they spent a lot of money on defense in terms of free agency. That's where they spent their free agency money. And then offensively, that's where they went with their younger guys, in terms of like Drake May, Will Campbell. It's all the young guys, the wide receivers, Kyle Williams, Travion Henderson, those guys. But defensively, they feel so good in their corners with Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis III on the outside, they have no issue leaving you one-on-one with those guys. And they want to get a pass rush with 4. Harold Landry is who, Mike Vrabel loved in Tennessee with him. The big injury for the Patriots this week is Robert Spillane, the middle linebacker. He's wearing that Steve Grogan number 14. I don't know if he wears a neck collar or not, but when he's in the game and Milton Williams is in the game, this defense is as good as just about anybody in the AFC. So the health of Robert Spillane is what I would be concerned about.
When you talk about a receiver like Jackson Smith and Jigba, Matt, he could potentially be the best player in this entire game, like best player on the field anytime he's out there. From a quarterback's perspective, in a game of this magnitude, how much of a security blanket or how much everybody knows New England's going to be doing everything they can to try to stop him. So how do you make sure that you get him going and you're able to take advantage of him maybe being the best player on that field?
Well, one of the great things that Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, does is he doesn't force it to one guy. He basically takes this mindset of if you're a great receiver, the ball will find you. The ball will find you. And I think that's one of the great things that Sam Darnold has done. He hasn't necessarily forced it to one guy. He spreads the ball around. And JSN, he wins his one-on-ones. They move him around. He's in the backfield. He's in the outside. He's in the slot. And he runs every single route. Now, he's really been unlocked when the Seahawks and John Schneider went and made the trade for Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah.
They got him from the Saints. And on the other side, you have, an absolute speed demon on the other side now. And then inside, you got guys like Cooper Kupp. You've got guys like Jake Bobo have stepped up. You've got a committee of guys, tight ends, running backs, all of it. And, the idea, though, is certainly to spread the ball around. And when I say that, very easily, JSN could have 11 catches in this game for 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, and be the Super Bowl MVP. Like, that could absolutely happen. But what's unique about the Seahawks is when they're talking about their first 15 or their call sheets, I don't think that's what they're trying to do. I think they're just saying, hey, we need to make sure we get JSN some touches and let him, do his stuff. But we're not forcing it. The ball is just going to find him. And I think that's one of the reasons that Sam Darnold and the Seahawks offense is so good. And Clint Kubiak's now going to be the next head coach of the Raiders. It's a really great way to coach. It's a great style. It's hard to defend.
Matt, on the way out here, prediction. What are we thinking come Sunday?
Well, I'm not always great at predictions, guys. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you're old enough to remember. But I'm gonna say 24-20, 24-20 Seahawks. I do think I'm a huge believer in the Seahawks team. I think maybe their toughest game that they played all year might have been the last game against the LA Rams. That was a heck of a game. 2 great teams. But with that being said, I already told you anybody can win on any given Sunday, and I think that Drake May's got the sky's the limit for that guy and what he could be. And how soon can he get there? That'd be the question. So I'm looking forward to this one, but I think maybe a 4-point victory by the Seahawks.
17-year NFL vet, 3-time Pro Bowler, Seahawks Ring of Honor winner, Matt Hasselbeck. Thank you so much,
Matt. We love you. Thank you so much.
Especially you, Stu. Thanks, guys.
Love you.
There you go, Stu. All right, coming up next, guys, some interesting comments from Tom Brady about this game and where his rooting interests may or may not lie. And we got more Stu stories on the other side. This is Wake Up Barstool on FS1. Don't go in there and grab a coffee. We got plenty more show. Rachel Nichols coming up as well later in the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. So Tom Brady was asked who he would be rooting for in the Super Bowl, and it seems like a very simple answer. I mean, this is the man behind the Patriots dynasty, a former teammate, and Mike Vrabel now coaching for a Super Bowl. And Brady, kind of going against the grain here, said he has no rooting interest in the Super Bowl. The fallout has been that Dave Portnoy is terribly upset here. Dave is now questioning whether or not they should continue to support Tom as Patriots fans. Also, Asante Samuel is on Tom Brady's ass right now. Look at this. Tom Brady, I am highly disappointed in you not rooting for your ex-teammate. Mike Vrabel's about to do something special. I'm going to fire your ass up one of these mornings. Tag Brady, let him know I'm on his ass. He would go on to say that Brady has 23 hours to respond. Here's another one. Not what I wanted to hear. Brady knows how I get down. This ain't nothing new to him. And then saying he had 24 hours or he was going to tell everybody who Tom really is. Okay, so start
I
here.
love the 23 hours, by the way.
Well, the clock had already started.
Yeah.
Clock started first tweet.
That's how you know he's on his ass.
Yeah, he's on his ass.
This is a no-brainer. Obviously, he has to say that. He's an owner of the Raiders, okay? And his head coach is playing for the other team. He can't just be going, hey, I love the Pats. They're going to bury them. Let's go. I'm all New England. He's not. The Patriot organization did him dirty. Did him wrong, did not pay him, shipped him off because they didn't think he had anything left. That was Robert Kraft, and that was Bill Belichick. And he stuck it up their poop hole by winning the Super Bowl in Tampa. Oh, listen, if truth be told, he would be saying, I want Seattle because I want Kubiak. I want everyone to show the world.
Hold on. I want to show the world.
No.
I win a Super Bowl with the Raiders.
No.
Patriots are done.
No, they put the statue up when he left town. He was a Patriot for life, all this stuff.
He's a Raider.
Vrabel's one of his best
friends.
friends.
He's a Raider. He's not a Patriot now.
He did, though, but hey, Stu, he did defend Belichick recently after this Hall of Fame snub. He said, there's no other coach I'd rather win a Super Bowl with. There's no other coach who told me how to take one. That, like, he still has. I think your point is
He's full of baloney. Behind closed doors, he is really pissed at Belichick and Kraft. Behind closed doors, I know it for a fact. I know people that know him. Behind closed doors, he thought it was the worst embarrassment ever, and he showed it by winning a Super Bowl. How do you win 6 Super Bowls for a team? And they let you go before you're done? He wasn't done. The team was terrible.
He won the breakup. I didn't know if him winning the breakup had maybe eased some of those.
No.
Listen,
he'll never say what's on his mind. I know it for a fact. Behind closed doors, he's pissed at Belichick. He's pissed at Kraft, and he stuck it up them by winning for Tampa.
Your point is well made in that.
And he's the Raider now. He's a Raider. Don't forget that.
It's not about him being an announcer, which he's done a very good job. Continue better.
I'm not even talking to you.
I know.
Raider.
It's the owner.
He's an owner.
That is the element. Big T, what's your thoughts on this?
I hadn't even considered that part. I do think he isn't like Patriot for life, #1 New England Tom anymore. But I also think just generally a lot of fans overestimate the degree to which professional athletes care about their former team. Like these guys are, and I think we're losing a lot of that in college also with guys playing for 5 teams now.
Oh yeah, I mean that's being eroded very quickly.
These guys are mercenaries. You know, if you're born in Atlanta and then you go to college at the University of Georgia, wherever, and then you play in San Diego or Los Angeles now, I guess. Like you don't really care, and then you go play for 4 other teams, and it's like, okay, yeah, like I guess I want them to do well, but it's. And Tom Brady's obviously different because he's the greatest quarterback ever, and he played for one franchise for 20 years. But I think generally a lot of times most fans would not love like the players that they grew
fans
up
care
on.
more than that.
Yeah, they have a different perspective.
But that's always been the case. But like, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like they're mercenaries.
How many players are owners of another team? Can you? I can't name any besides Tom Brady. He owns an NFL franchise.
Yeah,
and his head coach is playing for the other team. Don't tell me he's not rooting for Seattle.
That's a good point.
He's rooting for Seattle with every fiber in his bones. He wants Seattle to crush the Patriots to show, wow, we got the hot guy. We got the offensive genius.
So what this means then is that Asante Samuel's going to get on his ass, guys. Doesn't sound like Brady's going to respond.
He's not.
Coming up next, Rachel Nichols responded to us, and she's going to come on the show. She's going to break down all the NBA trade deadline news. There is a lot that's already happened. There's a lot that could happen, and Rachel will give us the skinny on it next, coming up here on FS1. What's happening, guys? Welcome back. Okay, the NBA trade deadline. It is NBA trade deadline season, and who better to talk to than one of the most knowledgeable NBA voices that we have? That is Rachel Nichols. Rachel, what's up? Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Incredibly busy time for you. I mean, phone going off 24/7. Let's start with some of the big news. Anthony Davis. I'm a New Orleans Pelicans fan by trade. I watched AD very closely for years. Didn't end great, whatever. Anthony Davis finds his way to Washington. What's the fallout? And all of a sudden, with AD and Trae Young, like, could this Washington team be frisky in the future, or is this should this have happened 5 years ago?
No, I mean, look, if it had happened 5 years ago, the Washington Wizards wouldn't have gotten him. Certainly not for the pocket change, basically, that they did. I mean, look, they are building a team that is going to be better than sort of the perennial cellar dweller that the Wizards have been. And this has been the goal since they started their sort of restart a few years ago. You know, they went through a few years where I don't want to say the word tanking. Who would ever say the word tanking? Nobody. However, maybe winning wasn't the priority. That's what we're going to call it. And, you know, they focused on development of the young guys they were drafting. They got high draft picks. They drafted well. Alex Sarr, who is sort of their centerpiece right now, is really developing in an amazing way this season. And now they're adding pieces. I would be surprised if Anthony Davis's health or Trae Young's health really impacted their season this year, because I think that those guys, they're going to be very careful with those guys, and they're going to focus on keeping their draft pick, which is top 8 protected, developing their young core, and then next year really going for it. And going for it does not mean we're going to win a title just because you have Anthony Davis and Trae Young on your roster. Everybody's realistic about who those guys are at this point in their career, but they're better. And even Anthony Davis, if he's in and out of the lineup because of health, is better than what they've had the past few years. So for them, it's a real stepping stone up. They didn't pay a heavy price for either one of these guys. And look, you say you're from New Orleans. I'm from Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
It has been a long time, gentlemen.
I know. I'm not saying y'all deserve it, dude.
It has been more than 40 years since this team got past the second round of the playoffs. 40 years. We need give me something. And I think they've done that. I think they've delivered for the fans. It's actually pretty exciting.
A little bit later on, I do actually want to ask you some Washington Post stuff. But first, before we get there, more newsy items to get to here. A lot about Giannis being on the trade block, potentially John Morant being on the trade block. What can you tell us about the latest in those two situations?
Well, look, Giannis is he going to get traded? That's the bigger question than where, right? Because he is, of course, flipped kind of back and forth. He's sort of interested. He's not interested. The phrasing that's been used is that he's ready for a trade. And I think that's actually accurate. He is ready to move on and try to compete for a title, which he has made it clear, even in interviews the last few days, that he doesn't believe the Bucks are going to be able to do in his player career span. Does he want to leave Milwaukee? No, he doesn't want to leave Milwaukee. As he put it, if you can tell me Milwaukee is going to be in position to win a title, this is absolutely where I'd want to spend the rest of my career. I want to retire a Buck. So it's not that he wants to leave, but he is ready to leave. And I know fans get a little bit hung up on this, oh, no, he wants to stay, Look, if he wanted to stay, none of this would be in the air. None of this would be talked about. Bucks ownership certainly doesn't want to trade him. So if he wanted to stay, if that was his preference, was to stay, then you would know that by the fact that you and I would not be having this conversation. But he is ready to move on if a deal presents itself to Milwaukee that is good. Obviously, we know Miami is in the running. We know Minnesota's in the running. The Golden State Warriors basically dropped out of the running last night when they traded Jonathan Kuminga. So that's over. They can no longer offer the package they were going to offer to the Milwaukee Bucks. So you're really talking about two cities right now. And that's kind of the problem for the Bucks, is that maybe those two offers are good enough, but really when they get to the summer, teams will have more draft picks because the draft picks refresh. And I would say if I was a betting person, that I would bet Milwaukee would still be holding on to Giannis until the summer. But, look, we never know. It's the NBA. We love the crazy, gentlemen, and it could be crazy in the next, 6 or 7 hours.
What was all the smoke about Giannis to the Bulls? We saw the DraftKings odds moving. The Bulls became the prohibitive favorite. They instead went out and traded for 9 guards, and they don't have a guy over 6'9" on their team. So what exactly are the Bulls doing, and are they still in the running for Giannis?
I mean, I'm going to be able to play for the Bulls soon. They just got to get that average down a little bit more. But look, I can play guard, and I think that's where they're going. So, it's going to be nice to see y'all in Chicago soon. I don't know the sentence, I don't know what the Bulls are thinking. I could have said any time in the last, 4 or 5 years. Yeah. I don't know what the Bulls are thinking. I mean, this makes no sense to me. I'm not sure how in the running they were for Giannis, because Giannis has some say over all of this, and they are not a championship-ready team. But regardless of Giannis or no Giannis, why so many guards? Phoenix did this, 10 years ago, and it didn't work out well for them. And I'm not sure it's going to work out for the Bulls, but Let's see.
It's not. I know it's not going to work out. I would like someone to explain the logic. I was hoping you can, but apparently there is no logic.
There is no logic. That's asking me to do too much, my friend.
Rachel, a couple of things. Number one, Nico Harrison's decision to trade Luka and to not shop him is still like probably an anomaly to me. I can't understand it, but watching the NBA since 1966, okay? I'm 65 years old, started watching the Knicks when I was like 5, okay? Makes no sense. It makes no sense that the owners allowed him to do it. And then it makes no sense that the heavenly gods gave them Cooper Flagg on a 1,000,000-to-1 shot that now it might work out. But my couple of questions. I want to ask you something about the Knicks first after this.
Okay.
Why did Nico Harrison and how did the owners allow him to do that? How'd that happen?
I like that more than a year later at this point, you're mystified, but that's actually the appropriate reaction.
Yeah.
It's never going to make any sense whatsoever. Nico Harrison was frustrated. And it's sort of like they say, like, don't make any big decisions when you're hungry or angry, right? He was really, really frustrated with Luka Doncic. They had tried to get Luka to stick to certain conditioning programs. He wasn't. There were sort of multiple soft tissue injuries. I think Luka, by the way, correctly, felt like, hey, I'm the face of the franchise. You don't tell me what to do. I think Nico Harrison was sort of like, great, I'm the king around here. You don't tell me what to do. I think there was new ownership that was sort of just willing to listen to whatever the basketball people there said. And that's how you got this witch's brew of Nico just being like, just get him out of here. Get him out of here. And Anthony Davis, we're going to go on and do X, Y, and Z. Obviously, it was, boneheaded doesn't even cover it. There is no way you trade a 26-year-old generational superstar who can do what Luka can do for a guy who is 5 years older, injured constantly, and not really a fit on your team. It's just, and sure enough,
gone.
Anthony Davis has been on the bench more than he's played.
It's unbelievable. And then out of like the heavens, they put Cooper Flagg to him. It's unbelievable. Okay.
What about the Knicks?
Okay. Leon Rose, an amazing job building a juggernaut with the New York Knicks right now. They have the point guard. Anunoby could be the most underrated player in the NBA for the Knicks. He's their best player offensively, defensively, hustle, grit, grind. Why has Cat stopped scoring? Why has he not scored 25, 30 points a game? Because I think if he does, with that team, they could challenge the Thunder, which I think will represent the West in the NBA championship upcoming. Do you see the Knicks winning? Can Cat get on a roll? Will the Knicks score enough points to win the East and face the Thunder?
Well, let me answer your Cat question a little bit by, since you are clearly a diehard Knicks fan, how many games have they won in a row now?
They're playing great. I was there Sunday to watch LeBron put up a pedestrian 20-8. I watched Luka, and then in the fourth quarter, the Knicks blew them out because the Lakers, without Austin Reeves, are not that good. You can't take Austin Reeves, who quite possibly is their best player, equal to Luka, scoring 25 a game. They're playing great. He is not the focus in the offense, but I think they're going to need his points.
The point is to win the games, right? And they have won, I think, 8 in a row.
Yes.
They won a really great game last night. Cat, I think, at times has struggled in this Mike Brown system to figure out what his place is. Obviously, he's never going to be a great defender, and that has sort of been more at the front or more at the back and affects his offense sometimes. You want the team to win. If the team's winning, to sort of worry about, is he doing enough? Is he doing enough? That's not how good teams work. So I'm not worried about Cat right now. Do they have enough to win the East, which is, I think, the question, right?
Yes.
Get to the finals?
Yes.
They absolutely have enough. And that's why they really haven't been huge sort of, contenders in this Giannis sweepstakes. If they really thought they needed Giannis, they would have made a better offer for Giannis at the end of this past summer when they had the chance to. If they really thought they needed Giannis, they would have made a better offer for Giannis right now when Giannis is definitely on the trading block. They haven't. They feel like they have enough to get to the finals. And I think they do. The question is, Does Boston have enough? Boston made a great trade, and we don't know if Jason Tatum is coming back. The Cleveland Cavaliers made a win now, James Harden trade. So you now have a more competitive East than you had a week ago. And the Knicks are going to have to contend with that and see if their decision to stand pat is going to hold and still get them to the NBA Finals.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Rachel, you just mentioned James Harden. I used to be NBA and it's passed me by. I'm a very casual NBA viewer. So when I saw that the Cavs traded Darius Garland for James Harden, please enlighten me why a team would give up a younger, very good player for James Harden, who has now gone to like 8 teams, and seemingly the same thing happens every single time.
Look, this is not exactly the same as the past few James Harden get traded things. This was a mutual decision with the team, and it doesn't happen very often in James Harden's career. But the Clippers told him this past summer, we definitely want you for this season. We don't know about next season. It's a partially guaranteed contract for next season, which is sort of basically a mutual option. And it was very clear to James Harden that he might not play with the Clippers past this year. And if he did, it certainly wouldn't be beyond the following year. So he was looking down the barrel of what was likely going to be the end of his NBA career. And so when the opportunity came up to go to Cleveland, to go to the East, where it's easier to win, this is a guy who has never missed the playoffs his entire career. So going to a team and a conference where he is definitely going to make the playoffs and get a chance to be in that action, to get a title. And frankly, they're going to give him more money. He has a chance to have a longer career there. You can definitely understand why James Harden wanted to do this. And you can definitely understand why it wasn't a clash with the Clippers or him demanding out, because the Clippers are the ones who said, we don't even know if we want you here. So the situation is a lot different than it was in Philadelphia and Brooklyn and Houston and everything everyone else is bringing up. And because James Harden, his track record is his track record, it's fair to talk about the things that he's done in the past. This just isn't the same exact thing. On the Cleveland side, look, Darius Garland is incredibly talented, creative, interesting guard. He has not been healthy. He has not been healthy this season. He was not healthy in last year's playoffs. You know, he's played more games in recent years, not this year, but in recent years, but he hasn't been healthy when they have needed him to. And this is going to be very interesting. Garland has not passed a physical with the Clippers yet. This trade has not been officially announced. So I am waiting for that to happen before I am just absolutely slotting him in here in Los Angeles. They clearly decided they need someone more reliable right now. And that makes you ask, why? Well, Donovan Mitchell has not advanced as far in Cleveland as he thought he would. Donovan Mitchell's contract, once we get to this summer, will only have another year on it. They are going to offer Donovan Mitchell an extension. If he says no, you know what? I don't want to commit right now. I don't want to do an extension. They're going to have to trade him. And so this is a win now move, or at least an advance now move of, we need to inject new life in this team. We need to get someone playing alongside Donovan he's excited about, who can be more of a threat in the East. Sorry to the Knicks fan to your left there. And who possibly can get us over a hump we haven't been in over since LeBron left. And if they can do that, they have a much better chance of retaining Donovan. The salaries were basically the same that they swapped. And look, James Harden, the thing I can say about him the most, and in addition to he's had actually a really, really strong season this season, is that he is one of the most durable players in the NBA, especially when you consider his age right now. He's 36 years old, and he plays almost every game, and he is always available. He's a much bigger guy than I think he looks on TV. He is just a bull out there, and I think all of those qualities were something that the Cavaliers were looking for. And they basically were ready to give up on Darius Garland, and that's interesting too, and it's a curious bet the Clippers made health-wise. We'll have to see. You've got a guy in Kawhi Leonard who's been super durable this year, but not historically, and a guy in Darius Garland who hasn't been as historically available. So we'll see what happens with them going forward.
We watch a lot of basketball in my house because I have 6 TVs. I watch 6 NBA games every single night. Have you talked to a doctor? No. Well, it's my business since 1979. It's all I've ever done. But do you have a feel or an idea why James Harden, who we watch NBA, you're one of the greatest minds ever in NBA history. I'm just a, pedestrian compared to you. But James Harden, for my money, top 10 scorer in the history of the NBA. Hands down, as good as anybody. When he's hot, as good as Kobe, as good as Michael, as good as LeBron, as good as anybody. Why does he fall apart in Game 7s? What is that about?
Well, this is going to be an interesting opportunity for James. So by the way, he's had some fantastic playoff performances, and we all know that. He has also, unfortunately, followed those up often with, as you point out, not good playoff performances. And in a lot of those situations, it was either him himself sort of carrying the whole team in Houston through the entire season, through the playoffs. It was him carrying the team except for Chris Paul, who then got injured, and James had to carry them by himself. It was him except for in Brooklyn when Kyrie was out and he had to carry the team and Kevin got hurt. It was him except for in Philadelphia where he had the blockbuster game when Joel Embiid was out in the playoffs and then couldn't do it in Game 6 and 7. If Donovan Mitchell stays healthy, it doesn't matter if James Harden gets a little more tired at the end of a series. It doesn't matter if he, has a bad Game 6 or a bad Game 7, because Donovan Mitchell is on fire this season, physical fire. And Donovan Mitchell, who has been historically healthy and is still quite young, he won't require James to carry the load the way he's had to in some of those other cities into the playoffs and in late into series situations. So look, knock on everything. We don't know what anyone's health is going to be once we get to May, but it should be a different situation for James this year, and we'll just have to see if that actually happens.
Ooh, I'm more excited if I was a Cavs fan now. Not exciting news is the news coming out of the Washington Post, Rachel. You were a former Washington Post intern. As you said, you're from there. Mass layoffs going on in the company, including cutting the entire sports department. Do you have anything that you want to say on the matter?
Yeah, I'm just hugely disappointed. I started there as an intern when I was, 19 years old. I actually worked for them after college. I was there for 10 years. I thought I was going to be a print journalist my whole life. I thought that working for the Washington Post was my dream. I grew up around there. I was there with Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon and so many other great luminaries you've been hearing about in recent days. And the sports section to this day was doing tremendous work. It is so disappointing to see an institution purposely run into the ground the way it has been over the last couple of years, and then sort of turned into a bit of a political arm for a newspaper that, frankly, just has been a light of journalism and democracy for so long. And when I say political, this is not right or left. This is Constitution. If you're an American, you believe in the Constitution, you believe in the freedom of the press. And as an American, as a journalist, it is really sad to watch what has happened to this great newspaper. And I just, people say, oh, the paper's losing money, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know, ChatGPT, which is very popular, they lost $14 billion last year. The Washington Post lost $100 million. Sometimes it's not about the money. It's about people's intentions. And the intention here is just very sad to me, and great journalists and great journalism and a great history of a great institution. And I can only hope that somebody, hires the really talented people who got let go there yesterday, and maybe even Washington, D.C. I mean, it certainly opens up a hole for another product to come in. It's crazy that they pulled off this Anthony Davis trade yesterday and no one was there to report it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to the website of the newspaper of record in the city that he was traded to, it's not there. You have to sort of search for an AP story. It's really sad.
Weird times, dark times, but neither weird nor dark was having you on, Rachel. This is another bucket list.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
Rachel. We love you.
NBA
We love you.
Insider,
We love
Fox
you.
Sports 1 analyst. Check out all of Rachel's work. Rachel_Nichols, everyone on social media. Rachel, you're the best. Have a great, very busy day.
Absolutely. See you later, gentlemen.
All right, when we get back, let's close out the show with some Ask Wub. Hashtag Ask Wub on Twitter. We'll answer all of your queries. Don't go anywhere. More Wake Up Barstool on the other side. All right, guys, final segment of the day. This final time that we'll have this crew together. You've done great work this week, guys. Thank you for being here. Final predicts. Big T, take it away.
In the Super Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks are going to beat the New England Patriots 24-16.
Okay, there we go.
Seahawks and under.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. What about you, Chief?
I'm going to do the Big T teaser. I
Thank
like
you.
I like the big
Thank
teaser
you.
a lot.
The big tease.
The big tease.
Big tease, get it right.
I like Seattle too. I'll say Seattle 27-14.
Oh,
Seattle and under. Go. What do you like?
I'm not making my pick yet. I'm gonna do
Why?
tomorrow.
No, you have to. Throw
No,
it
no,
out.
no, no.
Gun
Make
to
a
your
pick.
head.
I don't know
Gun
if you
to
know
your
this,
head.
T-Bob, right? If you look at the screen, official Super Bowl
Come on,
picks.
let's
We're
go.
doing
Said I have another show. You guys don't. I have another show. I don't
I'll
have
be
to
here
pick
tomorrow.
All right, done.
Okay,
Done.
you're right, actually.
Done.
Okay, my bad. Seattle by 3.
Give a score. Final score.
Oh, God, that's so stupid. 21-17. Seattle by 4.
So you're going Seattle. You're going New England and under. Because you're going to catch
yeah,
the hook.
yeah.
New England under. Everyone likes under. Okay. My side, total, and parlay. First score. MVP. 10 props. 12 NFL selections. I'm the best in the world. StuFeiner.com.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
StuFeiner.com. StuFeiner.com. 6-1 yesterday in basketball. I'm on a roll basketball tonight. StuFeiner.com. I want to quickly talk about just 2 seconds here. We went to the aquarium yesterday. We ate an amazing meal. Me, Liam, Spider, White Boy Rick, a.k.a. Kevin. I bought these for Sandy. Shout out, Sandy. I love you, a penguin. And I bought you these little slippers. Now,
Can
the
you put the
aquarium on a
slippers on?
scale of 1 to 10 was 100. It was breathtaking.
Oh, I can't wait to
Very
go. I love
professional.
this show.
You have to go. I was imagining myself as a 10 or 15-year-old, but all you heard from Liam, Spider, and White Boy Rick, they were like, ooh, wow. Did you see
Best
that?
animal you
Did
saw?
You see that? The shark.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love the sharks. Very intimidating, but they're beautiful. I would like to pet them. There was nothing there where you actually could touch
I
and
went
pet.
snorkeling
couldn't
one
touch the
time, Big
stingrays?
T, in the
No,
Jordan.
There's
no,
freshwater
no,
fish you can
no,
touch
you
there,
could not
too.
touch. You could not touch anything. But it was amazing. And then we had an unbelievable lunch at Gibson's Italian. We ate like kings. Liam ate more than I've ever seen him eat in my life. White Boy Rick is a professional eater, and Spider is an anorexic. So that's really how it went. But what a great day. It was breathtaking. Shout out, Sandy.
Shout
love
out,
you,
Sandy. Here's
I
our
love
first
you.
Ask Wub question that we got. Put it on the screen, guys, so
Go.
you can see it. Ask Wub, favorite vacation spot? Says Big Steve.
Naples, Florida.
Of course.
Every year,
Of course.
T makes a pilgrimage down there. It's my
Man, I
spot.
like to go to Toledo Bend, Louisiana. It's the lake that my mom's from. Shout out Toledo Bend.
Maui.
Maui Wowie.
Maui's the best place
But
in the
also,
world. Maui or
Atelier
Kauai.
Playa Mujeres in Cancun. Outstanding.
I'll say Charleston, South Carolina. That's got a little bit of everything. Got the beaches, world class eating. Yeah.
If you could turn any activity in your own Winter Olympic competition, which you would possibly win a gold medal in, what would it be? Example, Jenga, yugging, LARPing. Y'all probably don't even know about LARPing. Eating tacos, chess. What are we talking about? 15, 15, 30?
Wow.
For
Shout
me,
out, I would be proficient at any sexual innuendo.
Yeah.
Shout out innuendo.
Yeah. I mean, junior high.
Men want to be
sex
me,
humor's
women
kind
want to
of
be
been
with
my-
me. What do you want to say? I am an Olympian.
I thought I was
In
living
bed.
in that, but Stu's got me.
I'm actually, Stu, the way that you've been sitting in that chair,
Yes, sir.
incredible flexibility.
Thank you.
I couldn't do that.
I did yoga. I ran the marathon
Yeah.
2017. I could do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. I could do 10
Look at
minutes worth of
this.
planks.
Look at that.
Jake said it. Put him in the Wub Hall of Fame. Who can sit across applesauce for that period of time? Stu Feiner, that's who.
I'm so comfortable.
The source.
I feel at home. I love you. I'm going to miss
StuFeiner.com,
everyone. I want to come back.
StuFeiner.com.
StuFeiner.com.
Let's go.
StuFeiner.com.
See y'all tomorrow, guys.